Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, March 28th, 5:33 a.m. Central Time as I speak here. May corn futures down 1 3/4 at 646.5. May soybeans up 3 1/4 at 1445.5. May Chicago wheat unchanged at 698. May Kansas City wheat up 3/4 of a cent at 861. May spring wheat down 2 1/2 at 871 even. We're going to start off with the wheat market today. I've got a wheat chart to show you. This is the July Kansas City wheat chart, new crop futures. We've had a rally here, and I think some of it has to do with chatter regarding Russian wheat restrictions. We had some rumors last week indicating that Russian wheat exports could be totally halted due to low prices, and then we saw some news or chatter to the contrary. Now, there's chatter regarding a government price floor regarding Russian wheat. The Russian government may want to ensure that farmers are able to cover their production costs on wheat that they sell. So in either instance, I think that this talk has had something to do with the recovery in wheat prices. You've got mostly poor ratings from the U.S. HRW states that have released ratings. We'll see our first national set of crop ratings on April 3rd. But your July 23 Kansas City contract bottomed at about 764 on March 10th. We peaked at 856 yesterday. So you've had a rally of more than 90 cents per bushel here over the last couple of weeks. And I suppose that could continue. I'd say bigger picture, I mean, this is still a bear market and has been kind of a bear trend for the last several months. But could we see some more upside on this Russian news? I suppose that's possible. Now, to get into these winter wheat ratings, we did have some more ratings out yesterday. We're going to see our first set of national ratings on April 3rd, but for now, we're just left here with a few states. The Kansas crop rated 19% good to excellent, 52% poor to very poor, still very bad rating there. Oklahoma rated 34% good to excellent, 32% poor to very poor. Texas is 18% good to excellent and 48% poor to very poor. Colorado 28% good to excellent and 22% poor to very poor. Also noted, the corn crop in Texas is 52% planted versus the 5-year average of 45%. So drought in the southern plains, still a big time issue. You look at those poor to very poor ratings in particular, that's your best indication of just how bad things have been and continue to be in the southern plains, where they've really just been drought stricken. Russia is supplying Iran with cyber weapons. Russia is now providing apparently some cutting-edge digital surveillance capabilities. Iran has been in the process of developing this cyber weapons program for years. They're trying to compete with the U.S. and Russia and China. They're also requesting from Russia elite attack helicopters and jet fighters to aid in the development of a long-range missile program. The alignment of these two countries dates back to the Syrian civil war, which started in 2011, I believe. This is another story that's just like East versus West tensions, and that has become, of course, an underlying geopolitical theme. What does that mean for the markets? I don't know if it's anything right here and now. I mean, we've got China in buying corn, just the last couple of weeks, but longer term, that this may mean something. I'm just not sure exactly what. We do have a big crop report on Friday. This is the annual prospective plantings and quarterly grain stocks report. It'll be out at 11 a.m. Central Time. Ahead of the report, traders estimate U.S. corn plantings at 90.9 million, which would be up from 88.6 last year. Soybean plantings expected at 88.2, which would be up from 87.5 last year. All wheat plantings expected at 48.9 million, which would be up from 45.7 last year. Yesterday, I talked about those farm futures numbers, which indicated a much lower corn acreage number than kind of the status quo. Most of the private groups are out with like a 91, a number that's similar to that U.S. Ag Outlook Forum for corn acres. A few customers sent me the FBN, Farmers Business Network survey. They've got corn acreage at 92.5 million. So you've got two sides there on kind of either extreme. Farm futures with the real low corn acreage number, FBN with one of the higher, or if not the highest corn acreage number that I've seen. So there's always the potential for a surprise in this report, and there almost always is a surprise. If you don't get the surprise in acres, you'll get it in stocks. There's going to be a surprise somewhere. We just don't know where. I'll talk a little bit more about this report as the week goes on here. Guys, I did a premium video yesterday. What I did was I took those farm futures acreage numbers and plugged them into the balance sheets and ran some possibilities. If those numbers were were real, it's an absolute game changer for the new crop balance sheets. Went through that in some detail. If you guys are interested in these premium videos, sign up today. Go to standardgrain.com. $50 a month. Cancel at any time. No other fee, no other obligation. Nobody will try to sell you anything else. The sign-up process is a piece of cake. It'll take you about 1 minute to do. U.S. corn shipments were poor last week, 666,000. That's about 26 million bushels. That print was down 44% on the week and down 58% versus the same week last year. So not a good week of shipments. We should be shipping more. Accumulated corn shipments for the current marketing year are down 37% versus the same period last year. So, we just sold all this corn to China, and now we've got to hope that it gets shipped. That's not a guarantee. China has been known, of course, to cancel purchases, things along those lines. I would imagine that we ship the corn to China. I don't see why not, but that's probably a question mark in the minds of some people at least. Soybean and wheat shipments were both stronger on the week, or I'm sorry, stronger on the week and on the year. Soybean shipments aren't supposed to be good this time of year. This is Brazil's time to shine when it comes to shipments. USDA did report a flash sale of old crop corn yesterday, although this time it was to unknown destinations and not China. Could this have been China again? I suppose. Smaller sale, only 4 million bushels, but these flash sales of old crop U.S. corn are much needed. We could use some additional demand, and we'll take whatever we can get here. Some groups have cut their Brazilian soybean production estimates. Well-followed private group Ag Rural pegged the crop at 150.3 million metric tons, down from 150.9 previously. USDA still up at 153. I'll be curious to see in the next WASDE report if USDA comes down with that Brazilian number or not. I did not see the report, but I'd assume that this cut is the result of poor crops in the drought-stricken southern parts of Brazil. The group estimated the Brazilian soybean crop was 70% harvested through last Thursday versus 75 last year, so they're a little bit behind, but not anything significant. The second and larger corn crop, 96% planted versus 100% last year. Looking at the cattle market, it was higher, sharply higher in some of these live cattle and feeder cattle contracts. The hog market was sharply higher yesterday as well. U.S. dollars off a little bit this morning. The S&P is off about 5 points. The Dow Jones off 10. Gold's up $4. Crude oil up 43 cents. And the May WTI at 73.20, attempting an early week recovery here. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you Wednesday.